So, you know, leaders do different things, right? So when you look at leaders, they challenge the status quo all the time, and it's just their nature. So that can be taxing on your staff and your partners because they don't think like you, because you're always poking the bear, and it's just your nature. You don't mean to be, but you're always poking the bear. You're always pushing the envelope because it's just your nature. And the other thing is that to be a leader, a great leader, an entrepreneur, you have to master your environment. So there's a writer, his name was Malcolm Gladwell. I'm not sure if you've read him or not, but he wrote a series of books in the 2000s, like 2005. One was called The Outliers. In The Outliers, he talked about the Beatles. And he sort of coined this idea that if you do something for 10,000 hours, you become an expert at it. And when the Beatles first started, they played in Germany when they were like 17 and 18, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, for 2 years, nonstop. And they were 17 and 18. And that's where they cultivated new songs. They cultivated the rhythm and all this kind of things. So his idea was, if you're a basketball player and you do it for 10,000 hours, you'll become a really good basketball player, maybe great. If you become an entrepreneur or you become a teacher and you do it 10,000, anything you do 10,000 hours, you'll be really good. It's a book called The Outliers. He wrote another interesting book that I'm not sure he came up with decisions, called The Tipping Point. And again, it's about leadership. Why do some products tip? Meaning become big, and a like product, just like it, doesn't become big. And what he sort of said was that there's always a secondary or third thing that tips it. And he talked about something like the penny loafer was his example. And it became very popular during a period of time when it wasn't popular because the jeans became straight-legged and the penny loafer fit well with it. And that's what gave it its tipping point. So sometimes being a leader is not its timing. People refer to it as luck. I call it timing. A mentor of mine early on, his name was Mark Johnson. He said to me once, he was a salesman. He says, timing is as important as what you're selling. Maybe sometimes it's more important than what you're selling. So if you're selling something and it didn't work now, it probably will work 2 years from now. So always keep that with you if you're an entrepreneur, is that thing. Other qualities of an entrepreneur: they're innovative, they're creative, they're always thinking about what's next, what's on the horizon. They're always forward looking. They're not looking at today, tomorrow. You hire people to deal with that. You don't have time for that in your head because you're always thinking about tomorrow. And I think during this podcast, you're looking at me and I'm actually thinking ahead, right? And I think the greatest thing about an entrepreneur is passion. You have to have the love for whatever you do. I happened to be 15 years old and fell into a job that I was created for. Call that timing, call that luck. I don't know what it was, but I'm very passionate about it. I'm passionate about real estate, and I've never gone outside my wheelhouse. I've had chances to get into the stock market, where a lot of you folks have done that and become very wealthy. I've never put any money in the stock market. It's not in my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm.